Especially if it's baddies in the stands, for sure.
Yo, for real?
If it's celebs around the floor, you definitely want to see who it is. And
they sit next to each other. They're at every game. Lou Williams off the court for doing that. I mean, I'm not sure he could do anything basketball-wise to ever really top that. These two girls were like model hot. And both of them sat at the game.
Rihanna sits just 15 feet away from Kevin Durant at an NBA game. Close enough for him to feel her presence. Close enough for him to catch every glance. Imagine being one of the greatest scorers in basketball history locked in on the court, while Rihanna is right there, looking like a whole distraction you can't ignore. On the Impulsive podcast, Durant finally confessed what actually runs through his head every single time it happens.
When Rihanna walks in, it's hard not to know.
Hell yeah.
Just all the baddies, bro.
Okay, but
the 15-time All-Star, 2-time champion, and one of the most mentally locked-in players alive just admitted that mid-game, while making $51 million a year, he's locking eyes with women courtside. Yes, during the game. But that's not even the wildest part, because what Lou Williams pulled off for an entire season in Toronto would have had investigators all over him today. And then there's Dennis Rodman. His story about Madonna and that insane $20 million offer takes this conversation to another level entirely. July 9th, 2024. Kevin Durant joins Logan Paul and IShowSpeed for what might be the most brutally honest interview of his career. No talk about rings, stats, or MVPs. Just raw, unfiltered truth about what it's like being a 7-foot superstar trying to focus when someone like Rihanna walks into the arena and changes the whole atmosphere. Durant's been around since 2007, nearly 2 decades at the top. He's played in front of presidents, billionaires, and Hollywood royalty. He's seen it all up close. So when he finally starts talking about what really goes down courtside, he's not exaggerating. He's revealing a world most fans have no clue about. Lou Williams, the 3-time 6th Man of the Year, even jumped on Shaq's big podcast and told stories so crazy that Shaquille O'Neal himself couldn't believe what he was hearing. These aren't rumors. These are first-hand confessions from Hall of Fame level players spilling the side of the NBA that the league prefers to keep quiet. Because here's the truth. What separates NBA superstars from everyone else isn't just skill, hustle, or genetics. It's the ability to stay laser-focused inside what feels like a psychological minefield. Every night, under the bright lights, with courtside packed full of the world's most famous faces, they're fighting off distractions that would break most people in minutes. When you're Kevin Durant, every single game is more than basketball. It's mental warfare. And courtside, that's ground zero for temptation, energy, and chaos. So when Logan Paul asked Durant point blank about what it's like seeing these women courtside, Durant didn't hesitate. He owned it.
KD, when celebs come into your game, are you ever distracted by people in the stands?
Think about that for a second. This is a man with nearly 30,000 career points, known for his killer instinct, admitting that even he notices when someone catches his eye.
I wouldn't say distracted, but I do acknowledge them sometimes, especially if it's baddies in the stands, for sure.
Yo, for real?
If it's celebs around the floor, you definitely want to see who it is. And
Mike Majlik, the co-host, decided to push a little further, bringing up names like Corinna Kopf, an internet star with millions of followers. Durant laughs, not denying a thing. He says it's not hard to focus, but it's definitely hard not to notice. And then came Rihanna's name, and suddenly, even Durant had to admit it. When she walks in, the energy in the whole building shifts, the air changes. That's real. This isn't about weakness. It's about honesty. These guys are human. The NBA places them in environments where the most powerful, most beautiful, most famous people in the world are literally sitting feet away while they're trying to stay mentally locked in after hours of film study and preparation. But things got even deeper later in the podcast. IShowSpeed started trying to give Durant some relationship advice, suggesting maybe he'd been heartbroken before and that's why he stays single. Durant instantly shut that down.
I wouldn't say I had my heart broken. I started to understand women a little bit more as I got, early on I understood that, like, she's not mine. Even if she may be my girlfriend, she might be influenced by other people.
No hesitation. That moment said everything. This is a man who's been around the spotlight too long to fall for the same traps. He's seen what fame and constant temptation do to people.
Bro, I enjoy spending time with, it's just not as long as maybe you like to spend time with people, man.
Bro, that
2 days for me is cool.
But that one hand won't last, bro.
When you're Kevin Durant, worth over $200 million, constantly surrounded by attention and opportunity, Relationships don't work the same way. He's learned to move differently, to protect himself, and to stay focused in a world where almost everything around him is a test. Durant's mindset isn't about being cold, it's about survival at the top. Because when you live under that kind of spotlight, love, loyalty, and focus all start to mean something completely different. And this right here, this is what courtside culture does. It doesn't just distract players mid-game, it completely rewires how they see connection, attraction, and relationships when they're living at that level. When fame, attention, and temptation mix in the same building, everything changes. But if you thought Kevin Durant's story was wild, wait till you hear what Lou Williams lived through. A 17-year NBA veteran straight out of high school, 3-time Sixth Man of the Year, and the man behind one of the most unforgettable memes in basketball history. It's 2020, the world's locked down. The NBA bubble in Orlando is the most controlled environment in sports history. No fans, no contact, no freedom. Every move is tracked under strict COVID rules. Then, Lou Williams' business partner loses his father, and Lou gets permission from the league to leave the bubble and attend the funeral.
When I got home, I went to the wake. So mind you, we've been living in a hotel. Hotel food. Ain't no special food coming in and out.
Right.
You eating whatever the fuck is on the menu. On that menu in the hotel until they figured out later on how to start getting food into the bubble. So go to the wake. The wake is a block away from Magic.
So far, so good, until he makes one stop that shook the internet. Magic City, the legendary Atlanta strip club just 1 block away.
So I'm like, yo, I'm a block from Magic. We leave here, I'm gonna go grab something to eat, then I'm gonna go and get out. I get to Magic, mind you, it's 4:30, 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Lou walks in around 4:35 p.m., orders his favorite lemon pepper wings, his signature order. Then, rapper Jack Harlow walks in. They snap a quick pic, nothing crazy, but Jack posted on Instagram.
He walks in, I'm like, yo. He like, yo, let's take a shot. Me and Jack take a shot. So he like, man, you think we could take a picture? He was like, you think it'd be cool we take a picture? I said, I don't see why not. I got my mask on, you got your mask on. Let's take the picture. Take the picture. Don't think nothing of it. Jack go about his business. I go about mine. My food come out. I leave. I go home.
And by the next morning, Lou's phone is on fire.
Next morning, my agent called me. He said, we got a problem. I said, what's up? He said, I'll call you. He said, I'll call you back, but L. Frank is about to call you. L. Frank was my GM at the time with the Clippers. L calls me. Hey, man, who the fuck is Jack Harlow? I said, he's my friend, he a rapper. Why, what's the problem? I'll call you back. So he hangs up on me too. So my agent and my GM, they done hung up on me back to back.
Lawrence Frank.
Yeah.
From
Lawrence
Jersey,
Frank.
yeah.
So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Open my phone, Twitter is going crazy. Lou Williams sneaks out of the bubble to go to Magic City.
The internet goes nuclear. Every sports network, every headline, every meme page, all locked in on Lou Williams. For 3 straight days, he's the biggest story in basketball.
Adam Silver, he told me, he said, honestly, I don't think you did anything wrong, but I am gonna make an example out of you because I don't need these guys to think that they can do this shit.
But here's the part people forget. There was no fine, no suspension, just a 10-day quarantine. Even Adam Silver, the NBA commissioner, understood. When you're that close to your favorite spot, temptation hits different. Lou wasn't out there wilding. Man just wanted his wings at 4:35 in the afternoon. But that's not even the story that made him a legend. Nah, that one happened years earlier during his Toronto Raptors days. Lou had 2 girlfriends sitting courtside, side by side at every home game. Yeah, you heard that right. Both women knew, both were cool with it, and both were right there every night. His teammate Tyler Hansbrough told the story on the Green Light podcast, and it exploded across the internet.
They sat next to each other there at every game. Lou Williams off the court for doing that. I mean, I'm not sure he could do anything basketball-wise to ever really top that. These 2 girls were like model hot, and both of them sat at the game.
Even Drake dropped a bar about it. 6 men like Lou Will, 2 girls and they get along like I'm Lou. That lyric immortalized him forever. Lou wasn't just a baller. He became a cultural icon. 2 girlfriends courtside every game, all season long. Even Kevin Garnett called him one of the coldest. And Dwayne Wade admitted on his podcast that he wanted to ask Lou about it during games. It wasn't just funny, it was legendary. But here's what no one talks about. That was a different era. Comedian Bill Bellamy, a close friend of Shaq, said it best.
So now it's like, it was a huge jump in salaries, right? So now cats is getting bread, they young, there's no social media. Y'all had the best window ever. Your era was the best window. Because right after that, you can't even get a chicken wing.
Without a doubt.
The old school players lived in total darkness. No social media, no TMZ, no viral videos following them everywhere. Durant lives in a world where every blink turns into a headline. Lou Williams stood right between those two eras, old school privacy and new school exposure. But the generation before them, they got away with everything. Dennis Rodman once told a story so wild it sounds made up.
I was holding dice in Vegas, and she's in New York. She calls, and next thing you know, the pit boss said, "Hey, Dennis, you got a call from Madonna." He just screams it, right? And I said, what the hell with you, man? That's bullcrap, right? So he said, "No, Dennis, you got a call from Madonna." So I said, "Hold the dice, get the calls." And she said, "Dennis, you know what? I'm ovulating." I said, "What?" You're ovulating? I said, "What is that?"
Madonna calling him from New York, saying she was ovulating. And according to Rodman,
were you disappointed that you didn't get her pregnant?
No. Well.
That would add to the legend. That would add to the legend.
Well, you know, she asked me that if I got her pregnant, she'll pay me $20 million.
What?
Offering him $20 million to fly out and meet her. That's the kind of madness that used to happen when there were no cameras, no social media, and no leaks, private jets, secret calls, and stories that didn't see the light of day until decades later. Fast forward to 2026, and Kevin Durant can't even glance at Rihanna without turning into a 3-day media frenzy. That's how different the game is now. When KD and Rihanna are in the same building, that's 165 million combined Instagram followers watching for one picture, one glance, one moment. Lou Williams didn't have that kind of surveillance back in the day. When his two girlfriends were sitting courtside, there were no viral tweets, no TikToks, nothing. But by the time the Magic City story dropped, he had 2.3 million followers. Just enough attention to turn a quick 5-minute wing run into a career-defining moment. The stakes are insane now. The average NBA player makes around $10.8 million a year. Kevin Durant, he's pulling $51 million annually. At that level, every look, every courtside conversation, every innocent interaction could cost millions in reputation and endorsements. Just ask Paul Pierce. The man lost a $1.5 million a year ESPN job because he went live on Instagram with dancers in the background during a poker night. One stream, and boom, $1.5 million gone instantly. That's the kind of mental calculus these players have to run every single night. Every glance, every word, every reaction under the lights could cost them everything. Because in today's NBA, it's not just the scoreboard that decides your career, it's the timeline. But here's the part nobody ever wants to talk about: the personal cost. Kevin Durant has only been engaged once, to former WNBA player Monica Wright, and that ended back in 2014. In a GQ interview, Durant opened up about it and said, "I really didn't know how to love her. We just went our separate ways. One engagement, 0 marriages, 17 years in the league, and the man's been through it all without ever settling down, and he's not alone in that struggle. Even Shaquille O'Neal, 4-time champion and one of the most dominant forces in basketball history, sat on the Pivot podcast and admitted flat out that he ruined his marriage to Shawnee. Shaq said, "I was bad. She was awesome. It was all me." Imagine that. A giant on the court, but human off it. Money, fame, legacy, none of it could protect him from the chaos that comes with being surrounded by non-stop attention. That's what people don't get about this whole courtside culture. It's not just about flirting fans or flashy distractions. It's attention disguised as connection. And for these players, that line blurs fast. Everywhere they turn, someone's smiling, someone's watching, someone's recording. There's affection, but not always authenticity. There's access, but not always intimacy. It's a lifestyle where the love looks real, but rarely is. So when you see Kevin Durant pull up from 30 feet, draining threes like it's nothing, while Rihanna's sitting right there courtside, remember what you're really watching. You're not just seeing a basketball player. You're seeing a psychological outlier. A man who's learned how to stay laser-focused inside a pressure cooker that would mentally break most people in 15 minutes. Those courtside seats, they're not just seats, they're a test. Every night for 17 seasons, Durant's had to answer the same questions over and over again. Can you focus when the most beautiful women in the world are sitting 15 feet away? Can you execute a game plan knowing that one glance, one camera flash could cost you millions? Can you stay grounded when your entire job surrounds you with temptation, attention, and zero privacy? That's not just about basketball skill. That's about survival. Kevin Durant isn't great because he can just score. He's great because he can score while navigating total chaos, while blocking out every distraction the fame machine throws at him and still show up the next night to do it again like nothing happened. So if you think KD was right to admit all this, smash that like button. If you think he should have kept it quiet, drop a comment and tell me why. And don't forget to subscribe for more wild NBA stories the league doesn't want you to hear, because trust me, this is just the beginning. And the game behind the game is crazier than anything that happens on the court.